things. Good morning. Listen, in exactly 5 days, we'll be launching the Plant Protocol 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge, which I'm super excited about, which means I'm going in all week. Because if anybody has been around me any period of time, you know how excited and passionate I get about health, about plant-based living, about emotional intelligence, about radical obedience. And so it's time for y'all to come get this help. So today is number one of 5 live videos I'll be doing all week. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm counting down to day one of the 30-day vegan challenge. Listen, we're doing 5 major lessons I've learned about life since living a whole food, plant-based, sugar-free lifestyle. And we're going to count backwards. So today is lesson number 5. Now, when I was thinking about, the things that I've learned and experienced since I've been a whole food, plant-based vegan and how impactful it's been for my health personally, I was really trying to put into context, like what major lessons can I pull out for everyone and make sure they understand how amazing this lifestyle is, and make sure you guys understand how powerful it is when you take it out of the kitchen and really start thinking about overall, like zooming out and thinking about overall how health has the impact to touch every single area of our lives. And if we really zoom out and think about lessons we can learn when we're trying to get healthy. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys today in a very short period of time. Good morning on Instagram. I'm here for it. Let's go. Good morning on YouTube. Good morning on Facebook. It is Monday, May 27th, 10 a.m. EST. And this is 5 major lessons I've learned about life since being a plant-based vegan. Here's lesson number 5. Lesson number 5 is people are definitely afraid of trying new things and having new experiences. So I've been a plant-based vegan for many years. I've been a plant-based health coach for many years, since 2016. Okay. So I started my career in the health and wellness space as a personal trainer. So I've been coaching since 2015. I've been in business since 2015. Next year will be a decade. But I've been a plant-based health coach since 2016. Right. And over that time, suffice it to say, we have at my coaching company touched thousands of lives, right? And one of the things I've learned since doing that and learned from my clients is how scary it can be for people to try new things, and to their detriment. So people are so afraid of trying new things and having experiences that sometimes it harms them, right? There is definitely a level of cautiousness that, we should have. And we know all of us are, or have different levels of risk adversity, right? However, what I've learned about humans since I've been a plant-based health coach and a plant-based vegan is that people, like more than I would have ever imagined, like an overwhelming majority of people are afraid of new things. So I was doing a lecture a couple years ago. For those of you who have been around for a while, you know that I used to do a class in downtown Detroit every first Saturday of the month, right? And I did this lecture one time where I shared the things I had to overcome to be plant-based, right? And this lecture was super dope because I did 2 things. I went down a list sharing all the things I had to overcome to successfully live this lifestyle. But as I went down the list, I also named the privilege I had that helped me to overcome it. And so I'm going to share one of those with y'all today. And one of the things that I said I had to overcome in order to successfully live a plant-based vegan lifestyle was food intimidation. One of the things that actually prevents people from being successful on a plant-based diet is that they're literally intimidated by new food. Right? Like, Lisa, I either don't know how to buy it. Like, I don't know when it's ripe. I don't know when it's in season. I don't know if, how to pick it, how to buy it. Or when I get home, Lisa, I don't know how to cook it. Or when I cook it or blend it or whatever, Lisa, I don't know how to eat it. Like, it scares me a little bit. Maybe it's a texture situation. For some people, it's a color situation. Like, some people, y'all really don't be messing with the color green. It's wild. Like, the smoothie is green. I can't drink it. Like, oh, okay. Right. So, like, there's so many ways that food intimidates people. And so what happens is people shy away from the new thing, from the new food, from whatever it is. And as a result, oh yeah, I had to turn my light up on Instagram. Okay, there we go. So as a result, people don't try it. And what that can eventually lead to is what we call in the farm to table and that plant protocol is deficiency by omission. So people run the risk of becoming deficient in some critical vitamin or mineral because they're so intimidated by new foods. So people, like, here's a fun fact, okay? Because we're getting ready for this challenge that's about to go down on Saturday, and it's about to go up. It's about to go crazy. But people will go their entire lives eating the same 20 fruits and vegetables. Like, I want you guys to ask yourself, y'all on IG, YouTube, like Facebook, drop in the chat for me. When is the last time you bought something new from the produce section? I want to hear, like, when's the last time you ate something outside of your normal tomatoes, potatoes, broccoli, spinach? Like, I would love to hear bananas. When's the last time you actually saw a fruit or vegetable you've never had or you haven't had in a while and you tried it? Like, how many of us, intentionally or unintentionally, just stick to what we know? And so what this lesson has taught me in a broader context, like watching so many people as I try and coach them over the years, literally not try new things because they're so intimidated by food. What I notice is that it spills over into the other areas of their lives where they're afraid of trying new things in their career. They're afraid of trying new things in their relationships. They're afraid of trying new things in the world, having new experiences. This past weekend, I took some of my clients in my mastermind on a retreat. We had our sunrise retreat in Austin, Texas, and they had a bunch of experiences on this resort, right? You could go paddle boarding, you can go axe throwing, you can go like through this like obstacle course. They had so many experiences on this resort. And we were all at dinner one time and we were all talking about all the things we were going to try, you know, and some people were like, nah, I don't know if I want to try that. Like, and I'm like, why? Like, what reason? I don't know. It just looks scary, or I don't know. I've never done it before. It's like, that's crazy to me that is a reason that people will give for not doing the things. I've never done it before. It's kind of like, it's like it doesn't even make sense. Like, I know you ain't never did it before. That's why it's called a try. You know what I mean? So like, there's the unwillingness to try new things doesn't just stop in the kitchen, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So for those of you who are signed up for the challenge, shout out to Doreen on YouTube. She said, when I started prepping for this challenge, dates. Otherwise, I stay with what is familiar. So she says she's tried dates since prepping for our challenge, right? And Doreen, how did you like them? Like, what experience did you have? Was it way more harmless than you had conjured up in your mind? I would love to know, because what happens is I watch people not want to try new things in their diet, not want to try new things, you know, in the kitchen, in the grocery store. And then as I'm coaching them through other areas of their life, whether it be business, whether it be personal development, I see the same theme. I see the same recurring resistance to trying new things. And so one of the things that this lifestyle has taught me from a personal experience, but also as a professional coach in this space, is that people overwhelmingly, like the majority of people, I didn't even know it was like this, but I've like been like in front of and had conversations with thousands of people now, right? People are definitely afraid of trying new things, and to their detriment. Okay. To their detriment. Right. Doreen said they were super sweet. Oh my God. They reminded me of caramels. Right. And how much longer would you have went without experiencing the deliciousness that are dates, Doreen, right? If you hadn't decided to try something new. And so that's the first lesson I want you guys to take from this. And those of you who are signed up for the challenge, we have over 540 people registered for our 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge starting this Saturday. This first life lesson as we count down this week is I need you to commit to trying new things. We're going to start in the kitchen. We're going to start in your diet, right? We're going to start there. But I want you to zoom out and say, you know what? How can I have a little more courage outside of the kitchen? How can I start taking more chances in my career? How can I start taking more chances in my relationships? How can I start taking more adventurous chances in the world? How can I start speaking up and meeting new people who can expose me to new things that I had never thought of before, right? And so that's going to be super important, because life is different when you have a willingness to try new things. So I think I got off track earlier, but let me finish telling you guys real quick before we wrap this first one up. let me finish telling you guys about this lecture I was doing in downtown Detroit a couple years ago. I still have the recording of this lecture, and we play it for our students inside of Farm to Table, our plant-based coaching program. But again, the title of the lecture that I was doing a couple years ago is called "The Things I Had to Overcome to Become Plant-Based," right? And so I told you guys one of the things I had to overcome to become plant-based was food intimidation. However, during that lecture, I shared the privilege that I had that allowed me to overcome food intimidation. And the privilege that I had was that by the time I was doing this first Saturday class in Detroit, I had already lived in a couple of countries, right? So I've lived in a couple of countries. I've moved away from home a couple of times and came back. And so the privilege that I had that made food intimidation a little easier for me to overcome is that I had already been repeatedly exposed to a new culture, new experiences, and new foods in different countries. And so I had already intentionally immersed myself in different environments that forced me to try new things. So when I got into plant-based living, bok choy and pomegranates wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Dates wasn't that big of a deal, Doreen. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the privilege I had here was that I had already lived in multiple places. I had already done some like extraordinary new things, like moving to another country with no job and no income, right? Living off my retirement fund in a new country. Like I had already done some bold new things. So I had to identify that the privilege I had that made it easier for me to overcome trying, bok choy and snap peas and avocado was the fact that I had already intentionally exposed myself to new things in other areas of my life. And so for you guys listening, if you have made a habit out of living in your comfort zone, then you might have some challenges during this 30-day challenge. Does that make sense? Like if you've made a habit out of staying and sticking to what's familiar, if you've made a habit out of routines and rituals that you don't like to deviate from, then you may have some small challenges when you come into the challenge, because I'm going to be asking you to try something new. I'm going to be asking you to try that tea or that coffee without the sugar added. I'm going to be asking you to eat plants every day. I'm going to be asking you to cook without oil. I'm going to be asking you to try different types of seasonings because we're not consuming salt during this challenge. And so there's things that are going to be new for you that may be a little more challenging because you don't have a habit of trying new things. You don't have a habit of stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? And you want to be careful because comfort zones can be dangerous, right? They're there for a reason. They're there to protect us. They do have a place, right? So we don't need to do away with comfort zones 100%. They absolutely have a place. However, if you're not careful, they can hinder you more than they can help you. If you're not careful, your comfort zone and your familiarity can hinder you more than it can help you. How many of you guys know? I was talking to one of my clients this weekend in Austin, Texas, and she was saying she loves reading, right? She loves reading. And she is really passionate about literacy. And she was saying that part of that reason that she's passionate about reading and literacy and exposing kids to books and exposing them to new things through stories, she said it's because I've now lived in 3 different states, and that's because of what I got exposed to through reading. She said the rest of my family, and I think she said she got 6 or 7 siblings. She said my entire family still lives in California. She said they have not left the state of California. She said I'm the only one who's left and lived in different places and try, being intentionally exposing myself to new environments and new ecosystems. And she said, and I got that through books. And so now she has a passion about literacy and reading and exposing kids to this so that they can get excited about trying and seeing something new. And I just thought that was so dope, right? I'm like, dang, she was able to trace her desire for new experience back to an origin, right? And a lot of us typically don't have origins stories for why we do what we do. But I thought this was so dope because reading has been so impactful for her that she's able to trace, her desire for new experiences and living in new places back to reading. And now she wants to bring that to other people. And so that was her origin. That was kind of her catalyst into getting outside of her comfort zone. Like, how many of us know people, or maybe it is you, who have never left their environment? They're still in the same environment, the same neighborhood, the same city they've grown up in. And I'm not saying everybody has to move, don't get me wrong, but some people don't even travel. Like some people, like I remember when I moved to China, Kiwi, I said I was going to keep this under 20 minutes. Okay, hold on. We got 5 minutes to go. Okay. So I remember when I moved to China several years ago, my mom, some of my friends, everybody like, what? What? Like, I could never, like, can you even spell Mandarin? You know what I mean? First of all, like China, like if you're going to move, like it's so crazy. The first time I moved away from home, I just realized this. I moved out of the country. I moved to Italy. And then the second time I moved to China, like I didn't take small leaps. You know what I'm saying? I took giant leaps. Like, nah, I ain't going to the next state over. I ain't going a couple states over. I'm getting the hell out the culture, right? And so I moved to Italy. I moved to China. Like last summer, I just dropped everything and decided I want to work from South Africa for a month. So I went and lived in Cape Town for a month. And then after that, I was like, I'm about to spend a couple of weeks in Switzerland. So I just went and worked from Switzerland for 2 weeks. And so I think it's like, when I hear people who don't travel, because they're like, I don't know what's over there, or I don't know anything about that. And it's like, well, how will you ever? How will you ever? You guys have no idea how life-changing living in those countries were for me. Like, I still have friends to this day. I still got people on WhatsApp that I kick it with. Like, I still have contacts, and I still have like everything. The experiences have just been so life-changing. I have stories from living in China. I have stories and experiences from living in Italy. I got stories from South Africa that still resonate in my heart and my spirit to this day, right? And it doesn't have to be travel. I'm just using travel as an example. But what new thing? Like, we got people, there's people listening right now, or there's people that's going to watch this replay who've been at the same job forever because they're so scared of trying something new. They're so scared of trying the thing they really want to do. Like, we literally stay in comfort zones to our detriment. Like, in your profession, it's not just about trying something new professionally. It's about trying the thing you've always wanted to do professionally. Like, how many people are in jobs right now that no longer resonate with them, that are no longer meaningful and fulfilling to them, but they're so scared of leaving what they know. It's dangerous. It's so dangerous, y'all. So that is the first life lesson. That's lesson number 5. I'm going to drop lesson number 4 on y'all tomorrow. But that is one of the lessons I've learned since being a plant-based vegan, since coaching other people to living this lifestyle, is that the resistance to trying new things, whether it be in your diet, in your health, in your life overall, can be dangerous. So I want you guys to like keep this top of mind. Like, the next time you have the opportunity, right, to see something new, to hear something new, to talk to somebody new, to experience something new, I need you guys to take it. Because for some of you, for many of you, the thing that you envision, the things that you're looking forward to, the things you dream about and you see when you close your eyes is on the side of something new. And I'm going to tell you, the precursor to something new is a decision. The precursor to that new experience, that precursor to that new thing, to that new opportunity is a decision, right? And so you have to make decisions. You have to stop being indecisive, right? You have to start making decisions, right? Like, toggling back and forth for years on whether or not you should move to another state. You're sick of the city, but you're so scared of a new city. Like, the thing that you're looking for is on the other side of something new. And the prerequisite to something new is a decision. Is that fair? Oh, shoot. We 19 minutes in. I'm about to go. Okay. So listen, y'all. Tomorrow I'll be back here with number 4. The number 4 of the 5 life lessons that I've learned since being a whole food, plant-based, sugar-free vegan, and since coaching other people to this lifestyle. Okay. So then the 30-day challenge starts this Saturday, June 1st. Okay. This is the Plant Protocol 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. I would love to invite you guys to something new because this lifestyle, take a little Black girl from Detroit, not eating meat, not eating sugar, not eating dairy. I was talking to my best friend one day. She was like, how did we end up being vegans? Little Black girls from Detroit. Like, we don't even fit the profile, right? But we tried something new and here we are. For me, something new sparked a whole career. For me, something new helped me to identify how I could be radically obedient to God, right? So trying something new for me landed me in front of y'all, and we about to change the world. So listen, you got 540 other people who have already committed to come get this health. Will you be next? Click the link in the show notes and the caption in the bio to join the challenge if you haven't already, or to send it to somebody who wants to join you. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, same time, 10 a.m. EST, with lesson number 4 that I've learned since living this lifestyle. Bye, y'all.